What is going on, Catch fam? Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. You guys already know what time it is, baby. Ooh, another 2022 fantasy football mock draft. Sorry, my mic was scooted away from me. So hope you guys got the intro there. You guys know what time it is, man. Another live 2022 fantasy football mock draft. Excited as ever to be here with you guys. Went ahead and hopped into a lobby here on ESPN. If you guys are hopping into this stream, you guys can go ahead and join this mock draft. Of course, there's plenty of room to do so. I'm going to go ahead and choose a logo here. Ooh, let's go with the snowman. He's pretty cool. So, all right, there we go. Okay, sorry about the little wild start there. You guys know what to do, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And we're going to hang out, talk some fantasy football, have a good time, put together a little mock draft here. And let's see. I'm in the Derek in the chat here. What's up, baby? Appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, please do hop in. I'm in. You should be able to find me. This is just the whatever the top 12 team H2H points PPR mock draft is. Just look for team to catch, and you should be able to find me. Anyone else hopping into the live chat, into the stream that wants to join tonight, please do so. Just look for my name in the top 12-man draft on ESPN, and we can hang out, get a little drafting in together, and have some fun. And I hope you get in here, Derek, because I'd love to have you draft in here as well, man. All right, there's Team Lincoln at pick 12. Love to see it. Love to see it. So hop in the live chat, man. Let me know what's popping, guys. And appreciate you guys being here tonight as well. I'm going to try and move my camera a little bit. I got the music going. We're drafting in a couple minutes here, so I'm sure this will fill up. Derek's in. Let's go. Let's go. I did just finish filming a video, a mock draft, 10-man mock draft that I'll be dropping tomorrow, and I thought that draft turned out pretty damn good overall. But tomorrow, I'm traveling with the wife and the baby. We're going on a little getaway for about 3 or 4 days, so I will not be live streaming tomorrow. I'll be dropping that mock draft for you guys, so you guys do have some content to look forward to tomorrow. But I just want to let everyone, have a heads up that I will not be live streaming tomorrow night. First time in quite some time. I think I skipped one night in the past 2 or 3 months. So just taking a little bit of break, but depending on how things go, I'll either do another upload Monday or I'll hop on for a mock draft. So I'll kind of keep you guys updated. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated on the Discord page as well. If you guys are not part of the Discord, the link is in the description down below. Best way to get kind of community updates and where everything's headed as well. But I also wanted to take just 2 or 3 days to kind of take a breather, so to speak, from the channel, because come June, which is not far away at all, we're going to be guns blazing with content, man. I'm so excited. It really is fantasy football season as soon as the summer starts. So just wanted to give myself a little bit of a breather and a mental break before we head into June. Things are going to really heat up, as they already have since the NFL draft has finished up. So June's going to be crazy, going to be a lot of fun, and July is going to be crazy, a lot of fun, and so is August. And as each month goes on, fantasy football content is just going to start getting crazy here at the Catch, and I'm super, super excited for it. But I do need to make sure that I'm taking those little mental breaks, physical breaks. Wife and I do have a almost 4-month-old baby, so there's a lot going on, man, and just need to make sure I'm pacing myself to the best of my abilities. But you guys know, hard for me not to hop on here and do some nightly, daily content with you guys as well. It really is part of my daily schedule at this point, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So let's see, we got a little bit of a countdown here, then we'll enter the mock draft. I think it has another 2-minute countdown after that. And yeah, gonna be a good draft. We got Derek in here. I just kind of moved my cursor all over the place, and I landed closest to team 2, so that's where I am drafting from. Not a spot I like to draft from whatsoever, but we'll go ahead and we'll rock with it and we'll see what happens. I've been kind of like a broken record over the past couple of mock drafts, just really, really getting into this strategy of bouncing between running back and receiver, keeping track of tight ends, drafting the right tight end when they do fall to us, and then getting a late round QB. And this specific strategy is just really, in my opinion, been working well, but it's a little bit more challenging in a 12-man, so to speak, as opposed to a 10-man and an 8-man. I think strategies are completely different. But on top of that, coming from the second overall pick, I don't know. We'll see how this works out. So I would imagine that JT is going to go number 1 here. I am going to go running back at 2. I'm not going to go Christian McCaffrey, I can tell you that much. But keep in mind, I was a Christian McCaffrey drafter last season with the first overall pick. So I do have some PTSD from CMC. I'll probably go Eckler. I mean, they could argue for Najee Harris at 2. Henry at 2 would be fine. I'll probably go Eckler. Kind of, keep suit with that high-powered offense. I mean, it's not like Henry's not going to get a ton of touches, but I'll probably go Eckler there at 2. And then we'll move forward. We don't pick again for quite some time, but luckily we'll have an early pick in the 3rd round. So for me, we'll try and get our wide receiver 1 in the 2nd round, and then bounce back to the running back position in the 3rd round, and then we'll move forward from there. It's going to be interesting because most drafts that we've done so far, if I'm not mistaken, with this specific strategy, we've drafted a little bit later in the 1st round. Although I think we may have had one with an earlier pick, but not as early as 2. So 50 seconds here, and then we're getting into another 2022 Fantasy Football Mock Draft. I'm excited. Derek, salute. I'm pumped to draft with you, man. Oh, you got that nice pick 12, too. Those back-to-back picks. Always comforting. So going to be a fun draft. Hop in the live chat. Let me know what's going on, guys. Let me know how everyone's weekend is going. Hope everyone's having a good, safe weekend and is doing well. I know we're going to get some crazy weather here. And actually, as I'm traveling through Virginia to Northern Virginia, it's supposed to be just like thunderstorms all through Virginia this whole week. So that kind of stinks. But, I hope you guys are getting a little bit better weather wherever you may be. All right, here we go. 3 seconds. And then pick.
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
So we've got 45 seconds to make these selections. So like I said, I'll probably go Eckler there at 2. Unless something crazy here happens. I mean, if you don't go JT at 1, you could argue for the receiver position if that's what you want to draft. That Cooper Kupp is the guy to go. Maybe argue for an Eckler. Maybe argue for Justin Jefferson. If you're going receiver, maybe argue for Chase. If you want to go for maybe a more youthful approach, not that JT is still pretty young, but Najee Harris may be in there. 99.9% of the time, you're going to see JT, who just got selected. All right, let's go running back. Let's go Austin Eckler here. Get him off the board. Let someone else go receiver in the 1st round. And we'll just kind of sit back and see what happens here. Derek, be safe on your travels. I appreciate that, bro. 96 in New Jersey today, 93 tomorrow. Then Monday back to the 60s and 70s. Dang. So we see another running back go at the 3rd overall pick in Christian McCaffrey, followed by Cooper Kupp, first receiver in this draft. Yeah, it's been crazy hot here, but then just like raining and thunderstorming, and then it'll cool off a bit, then it'll get really hot again, then it'll thunderstorm, and it's just kind of all over the place. So it's definitely, we're moving from spring to summer. All right, Najee Harris goes at 6 there. Jamar Chase at 7. Josh Allen at the 8th overall pick. Come on, Team Jones. What are you doing, man? Guess you wanted your QB1. Oh, man, I hope people don't start to leave this draft. I mean, I guess if you want your guy, go out and get him. There are tons of family leagues where people will do that. Patrick Mahomes was going in the 1st round last season, and, tight-knit family leagues and everything. So, interesting selection there. Pick 8, going to be an interesting draft. I think one team just left. All right, Derrick Henry goes at 9. Debo is at 10. 2 more selections here in the first round. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. By the time we're conducting mock drafts very, very close to the season, and come draft night for most of us, I won't be shocked if Josh Allen goes in the first round. I mean, last season there were plenty of leagues where Patty Mahomes won the first round. As Kamara goes at 11, there were plenty of leagues where Travis Kelce win the first round. I mean, I think Travis Kelce went in a majority of leagues in the first round. So I won't be surprised closer the season comes if we see a QB in Josh Allen in the first round and or a tight end in either Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce in the first rounds, especially in 14-man plus leagues. 12-man leagues and under, we'll see. But 14 plus, anything's up in the air. So Devontae Adams goes at 12. We're going to be eyeing a receiver at 23 as we move into the second round here. So that was Derek who took Devontae Adams off the board. We'll see where he goes. So for me, at 23, looking for a receiver, Keenan Allen or Mike Evans, probably where we're going. Ooh, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. At that point, we have to go for Justin Herbert as well. Try and get a little stack. Maybe we'll do that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. A.J. Brown offers some nice upside as Derek goes the double receiver stack, Adams and Diggs. And we now move into the second round here. So Diggs, Cook, Tyreek Hill off the board. I think Dalvin Cook a really good value at the 14th overall selection there. And we'll kind of see what happens here. Like I said, I want to go receiver at 23. A.J. Brown, I'm just not in love with as a wide receiver 1. Much, much more comfortable as a wide receiver 2 for me. Joe Mixon, a great value at the 16th overall selection. I don't know, man. Part of me is tempted to go running back, then receiver. Although that's not really staying true to the strategy of bouncing between the two. But we'll see if there's better value at running back. And, you know, that's the thing, right? If you do have a strategy in mind, don't let it necessarily ruin your draft. There's a lot of good value goes here. Mark Andrews, Lenny Fournette, and DeAndre Swift. If there's better overall value at pick 23 at running back, we might go running back. But I still think there's a pretty good tier here of Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott, David Monty, Javonte Williams, James Conner, Aaron Jones. I mean, even Saquon. There's a plethora of good RB2s that we could snag at pick 26. But looking at receivers, I would say once again, I mean, unless CeeDee Lamb falls out to 23, Keenan Allen and Mike Evans at 23 aren't bad picks. I mean, this could get interesting. I think we're going to end up with a good wide receiver 1 and a good RB2 no matter what. Nick Chubb is the player I want here as an RB2. I can tell you that much. So I might go out and quote-unquote reach for him, although ESPN is the only platform that I've seen Nick Chubb ranked so incredibly low. It's Travis Kelce's off the board, so 2 tight ends here in the second round. All right. On the clock and 1 pick. I mean, I think Keenan Allen's the best. Oh my gosh, James Conner's available. I can't pass up James Conner. I mean, I can't. That's a player that I have starred, that I want on my roster. You know, we'll supplement. We're basically going to have to go wide receiver, wide receiver. We've kind of messed up the strategy. But like I said, if you have a specific strategy in mind, as Mike Evans is selected there, don't, you know, stray away from players that you have starred, that you want on your team, that you just can't pass up. All right, let's go Keenan Allen as our wide receiver 1 here. Got 2 parts of the Chargers offense. We might be eyeing a Justin Herbert, but that's a pretty penny. Doesn't really follow suit with our strategy. So, yeah, into the third round. Like I said, the strategy here is to go running back, receiver, and repeat. But we had a player that we can't pass up fall to us. And with any strategy, there are certain players that you should just not pass up, especially if they're on your personal, list of players that you have high conviction in. For me, James Conner is one of those guys. So let's say if we went receiver, like we would have gone, Mike Evans or Keenan Allen like we discussed at 23. And if we did, we potentially miss out on James Conner, probably would. And then we still could have gotten Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott, David Montgomery. All those guys are just fine, don't get me wrong. And like I said, I really like Nick Chubb in that tier. And And I like Josh Jacobs a lot as well. But I like James Conner more. And I'm extremely happy with being able to snag him there in the second round. So essentially, what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to revert to receiver in the fourth round and then go back to running back, receiver, running back. And we're going to start to keep an eye on a couple of tight ends. In a 10-man league, I would want a Kyle Pitts or George Kittle. And if they fall to us, we'll take them. But I think in a 12-man league, it's more realistic that we end up with a Dallas Goedert, a Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, Dawson Knox, Dalton Schultz, kind of that tier of tight ends. Those are the guys that I'm comfortable with, and I'd be happy with any of them as my tight end one. Derek says, great team so far for the catch. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I just can't pass up James Conner there. Let's see, looking at Derek, we've got Diggs and Adams, so I would imagine you're probably eyeing running back, but there's a couple, you could go QB, tight end, go with another receiver, a couple ways you could play that. So we've got pick 47, so really no point for us to really think about who we're going to target there. Makes more sense to just kind of sit back and let this thing play out. So Akers, A.J. Brown, Barkley, and Moore off the board after our selection of Keenan Allen. All right. Yeah, there's no way I'm passing up James Conner right there. I'm sorry. All right, let's keep an eye on receivers. In terms of a wide receiver, too, I would love Metcalf or Scary Terry. I don't think they'll fall to 47. I like Hollywood Brown as a wide receiver, too. In a 12-man draft, I don't mind Hunter Renfrow or Devonta Smith as well. Mike Williams would be really interesting, but there's no way we're drafting Eckler, Allen, and Williams to take that much. I'd much rather land a DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Scary Terry, Jalen Waddle. I don't think we're going to get any of them, but we'll see what happens here. So Nick Chubb's gone, David Monty's gone, Josh Jacobs gone, T. Higgins is gone as well. So, yeah, really no point to plan out these picks because half these players are going to get drafted before we draft. So best strategy here is just to sit back and see what happens. So there goes Higgins, there goes Waddle. Derek's on the clock. Be interested to see where he goes here. Having that receiver stack, pretty lethal stack, and Adams and Diggs as well. And he goes with another receiver, Michael Pittman. 3 receiver ones. Nothing wrong with that. Don't have a lot to worry about in terms of the position moving forward. Yeah, I don't know, man. Would not be surprised if we see a little bit of a run on QB soon. Like I said, Herbert's really intriguing if he's available at 47 or 50. Really, really intriguing. Especially since we have Allen and Eckler. But we'll see what happens. All right, there goes Travis Etienne to Derek to begin the 4th round, followed by Gibson and Dobbins. So possible we see a little bit of a run at the running back position. Ronald, what's up, baby? What's up? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. What up? What up? And, yeah. We'll just kind of sit back and see what happens here. Like I said, half these players are going to be drafted before we can draft. All right, there goes Metcalf. Pretty good value there. Because Zeke, I was about to say, man, if Zeke falls to 47, I'm not going to pass him up once again. Yeah, Zeke has a RB3 in a 12-man league. It'd just be stupid. No way I'd pass him up there. So Breece Hall's kind of interesting. We'll see what happens here, man. I always say, sit back, see what happens, and then I start evaluating my next pick. But we got 4 selections here, so we are getting closer. It is good to keep in mind who's available. Scary Terry just got selected. Deontay Johnson got selected. So at this point, I'm considering Chris Godwin or Hollywood Brown. Let's take a look at Davenport. He's got 2 running backs and a receiver. He's in the same boat as me, so he could really go any route. And he'll have 2 selections in between us, so that's actually maybe not a great thing, but I would imagine between the 5th and 6th round we start to see a run on QBs as well. I really like Chris Godwin here, but he's going to miss some time. Could really come in clutch, though. Looking at running backs, Eli Mitchell being available is very intriguing as a RB3 as well. So we'll see what happens here. 2 more selections. Amon-Ra St. Brown off the board. I think I want to go Mitchell at 47. I'm getting away from my strategy, but they're just players that I don't want to pass on. There goes Chris Godwin. I think there's a pretty decent tier of receivers available right now. There goes Breece Hall. Tight ends aren't looking bad either. I mean, Pitts and Kittle are available. All right, let's go Mitchell. We've gotten away from our strategy a bit here, but like I said, don't let a strategy ruin your draft if there are players that you feel like you cannot pass up. So I'll take Mitchell as an RB3 all day. I know he's been a little bit controversial for some of you guys. And then looking at our next pick, I think I'm going to go Hollywood Brown if he's available. But part of me is thinking about tight end here with George Kittle and Kyle Pitts both available. Waller and Mahomes off the board. Man, we've completely gone away from our strategy. I'm going to go Hollywood Brown. I like Cooks and Cooper. Mooney as well. Hunter Renfrow, of course. Mike Williams, a great upside play, but overall, we already got Keenan Allen. I don't want both those players on my team. Be too much of a headache on a week-to-week basis. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. George Kittle or Kyle Pitts would have been really good picks there. But I do think we can come out of this draft with kind of that next tier tight end, and I think addressing receiver was a little bit more important. So we do want to keep an eye on the QB position as we move into this.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
So let's see. Darren Waller in the 4th round. Patty Mahomes to start the 5th round. We got Hollywood Brown, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Brandon Cooks, Kyle Pitts, Amari Cooper, and Miles Sanders. All
guess they had their eye on him too.
Kittle. So both those tight ends in a 12-man draft fall into the 5th round. Really, really good value, man. Really good value. I was really close to pulling the trigger on either Pitts or Kittle in the 4th round, but just felt like receiver. Although receiver's going to be deep, we'll take a gamble here. Ronald, time for you to cook me for punting tight end, and we'll kind of see what happens here, man. I do like the start to this team. Eckler, Connor, Allen, Hollywood Brown, and Mitchell. Although we got
guess they had their eye on him too.
I mean, we got the Chargers stack and the Cardinals stack, so to speak, until Hopkins comes back, that is. Lincoln going out, Derek going out and getting Dallas Goedert, then turning around getting his boy Kenneth Walker.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Jackson's gone, Dalton Schultz is gone. So we may consider a tight end here at 71, get it out of the way, and we'll see what happens. Ronald says those sounds are super annoying. I didn't even realize any draft sounds were coming through. It's not the music, is it? I didn't realize any draft sounds were coming through. I turned it off, though. All right, so Mooney's gone. Judy's gone. Kyler Murray's gone. For me at 71, ooh, it's tough here. Tough here. Drake London and Hunter Renfrow and Devonta Smith, kind of hard to pass up. All right, so Sutton, Lockett, Patterson are gone. Yeah, Derek, I didn't know there's any sound coming through. Should be off now, though. My bad, man. Hopefully that wasn't annoying for all you guys. All right, for me, I'm either going Drake London or Hunter Renfrow here. We are a little bit thin at receiver. Renfro's been my guy, man. Give me Renfrow. And we're going to try and snag a tight end here as well. Actually, I'm going to hold off at tight end. I'm going to go receiver running back. Go receiver running back. I'm going to go A.J. Dillon. I'm going to reach. We're going to gamble a tight end tonight. We're going to go tight end QB with our next 2 picks. We take a gamble here. There we go. Kittle is long gone. If Kittle was sitting here, I would definitely have taken him. He's long gone, Ronald. My setup's a little different, so now it's hard for me to see my screen. All right, so Eckler, Connor, Mitchell, Dillon at running back, Allen, Hollywood Brown, Renfro at receiver. Obviously, our needs QB, tight end. We took a little bit of a gamble. There goes Jalen Hurts. Ronald, I can't see anything. I'm sorry, bro. It's all good. Yeah, Kittle is long gone. We almost took him in the 4th. He went in the 5th. All right, let's just kind of sit back and see what happens. I feel really good about the skill positions on this team. We're going to go out and secure a QB and tight end in the 9th and 10th round. So this is a gamble. We'll see if it pays off. Probably won't. All right, Allen Robinson, Aaron Rodgers, Devonta Smith, Derek's on the clock. There goes Burrow, moving into the 7th round. Let's see what happens. Or excuse me, moving into the 8th round. Draft moving quick. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys drafting with me tonight. Got to keep an eye on some receivers as well. Definitely going to continue to need to snag some value at receiver throughout this draft. Running back, I feel pretty good about. Let's just kind of sit back and see what happens. All right, into the 8th round. Burks, taken by Derek, Shaw Bateman, Garrett Wilson, Hopkins, Olave, and Kareem Hunt, all gone. Whew. Russell Wilson's gone. Damon Harris gone. Adam Thielen and Christian Kirk are kind of tempting here. Kind of tempting, I'm not going to lie. All right, I want Matthew Stafford here. I'd be kind of sad if we don't get him. So let's see. This guy's got Justin Herbert. This guy's got Jalen Hurts. I think we got a good shot to land Stafford here. And I'm fine with Stafford as my QB1. We'll see what happens. Goes Rashad Penny, a good pick. Penny was someone I was keeping my eye on. A couple receivers I like here as well. But I think we have to go QB tight end and get it out of the way. I mean, not everyone's confident with Jalen Hurts as a QB1, so there's a possibility that staph infection gets taken here, but we'll see. If he does, I would stay away from QB for probably till the 10th round and try and land Derek Carr, and then go out and draft a second QB and probably Kirk Cousins. Just try and rotate those guys against better matchups all season long. I guess Deshaun Watson's worth a flyer as well, but I'd rather just draft someone who I know is not going to face a suspension this coming season. All right, so there goes Stafford to me. And then let's go ahead and get a tight end as well. And you might call this a reach, but I want Dawson Knox here. We could go Adam Thielen and wait for tight end, but it's risky, man. It's really risky. Looking at our receivers, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, Hunter Renfro. I mean, it's risky, man. It's real risky. I'm gonna go tight end. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose out on this current tier. I mean, whether it ended up being Ertz, Gesicki, Freiermuth, Hunter Henry, or Dawson Knox, I don't want to lose out on that tight end tier. So, for me, I'll take Dawson Knox. I know he missed some time last season, but he didn't miss a lot of time. And what, he had 9 touchdowns last season. This is 0, but that right here 9. Yeah, 9 touchdowns. Yeah, give me my boy Dawson Knox all day long. Now, if I can land Hunter Henry, Gesicki, Ertz, Freiermuth, maybe Noah Fant as tight end too, I'd be happy with that. Looking at QB, we'll keep an eye on Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, kind of see where they float around. They'd be pretty valuable QB2s. Let's take a look at running backs. Just kind of queue up anyone that we have in the next coming tier. Not a whole lot of players there, but luckily we have 4 running backs that we're confident in. Receiver, a little bit more of an issue on this current roster, so let's go ahead and look for some upside, some rookies with some of these later round picks, and just kind of see how things play out. I do think that this is going to be a good looking roster by the end of this draft regardless. So we landed our QB in Stafford, landed our tight end in Knox. We basically have stayed true to this strategy, although we went double running back and then a receiver. Like I said, just could not pass up James Conner. Then we went Mitchell as well before drafting Hunter Renfrow, and then went back to A.J. Dillon. So I still think the skill position players on this roster look pretty good. We still landed Dawson Knox, who I have a lot of conviction in, and we got Matthew Stafford to fall to us at QB. So I do think that this team still looks pretty good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more selections. We're going to try and go back to alternating receiver, running back on this team. All right, there goes Mike Gesicki, Zach Ertz. Yeah, it would have been really risky to go Adam Thielen there. I think it may have paid off, but we may have missed out at the tight end position as well. All right, there goes Chase Claypool. I will say if Hunter Henry falls to 119, I would definitely consider taking him. Definitely. That's about it, though. Hunter Henry and Derek Carr, probably the only players that I would consider stacking up in terms of a 2 QB, 2 tight end roster, as Derek goes out and gets 2 rookie running backs in Tyler Algier and James Cook. Love that selection of Tyler Algier. There goes Michael Carter, Chase Edmonds, Deshaun Watson, Michael Gallup. Looks like we've had quite a few drafters hop out, so things are going to move pretty quickly. Unfortunately, get some auto picks in here as well. Man, like I said, Hunter Henry sitting here is really tempting, but I'm going to go Melvin Gordon here and then see what happens. Go ahead and get another running back on this team. And then I'm probably going to go tight end here and draft Hunter Henry. And probably not feel half bad about that. For whatever reason, I love Dawson Knox, but I do worry just a little bit since he missed some time last season. Ramondre Stevenson, James Robinson hanging around. Still some really good running back committees available as well. There goes Isaiah Spiller. As we're into the 11th round, there goes Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, why not? I'll take a tight end too. We've kind of, like I said, gotten away from the strategy a little bit here, bouncing between running back and receiver, letting the right tight end fall to us. But when you do the strategy, you can you can go out and draft 2 tight ends if you feel, that value is there. And I like that selection of Hunter Henry a lot. So 3 more selections left. Probably need to focus on receiver. I mean, with that selection of Hunter Henry there, we basically more than likely need to go double receiver here. We only have 3 receivers on this roster: Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, and Hunter Renfrow. So running back heavy team, probably focus on flexing a running back, which I'm fine with, especially in a 12-man league. I mean, regardless, if I came out of a draft, starting a draft with this team, I would not be upset. You've got a solid wide receiver 1 in Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, and Hunter Renfrow provide some nice value as a wide receiver 2, especially in full PPR leagues. So I got no beef with that whatsoever. I would be happy with this team. We'll see how it finishes out, but I do think this is a really solid start to a good roster overall. All right, Derek goes with Dameon Pierce, a really good value pick there, someone I had queued up, keeping an eye on as well. Although currently with Eckler, Connor, Mitchell, Dillon, and Gordon, I don't know. I mean, probably my last selection will be a running back, but someone that I'm just going to take a complete flyer on. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing that's too attractive sitting there. So, Kirk Cousins still available, kind of an interesting pick. Alec Pierce sitting there, Jamison Crowder. There goes Tyler Boyd, really good selection there by Derek, someone who I had queued up there, hoping to land to me, as that is the position that I need to keep an eye on. But I do think there are a couple good receivers here That'll finish out this roster in good fashion. I like George Pickens. I just think that Pittsburgh consistently produces good young wide receivers and uses them, pretty quickly, develops them pretty quickly in their rookie season as well. All right, I'm on the clock here. Jameson Crowder's kind of intriguing. Marvin Jones kind of interesting. Jarvis Landry, not a bad option as well. I like Tim Patrick as well. I like George Pickens. We're going to end up going double receiver here. Let's just take a look at who's available. Kirk Cousins, not a bad value pick. Let's take a flyer on Jarvis Landry in a new offense here. I think that's a good selection. Assuming that this is a full PPR league, I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind George Pickens there as well. Devontae Parker wouldn't be a bad option also. And then I'm going to try and go for Tim Patrick at 146. I think that's a really good value. Even if it's against his current ADP, I don't really have a problem with it. And then we'll kind of see for that final pick, it might be more beneficial for us to go for another receiver as opposed to a running back, staying true to the strategy that we started off on. But I mean, Eckler, Connor, Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, and Melvin Gordon, I would feel pretty confident with those 5 running backs. Let's take Tim Patrick here, and then we might look for a later round receiver. So Sid Wilson's kind of interesting, and then I'll queue up Kendrick Bourne, who I have some personal conviction in. And then there's still plenty of good receivers here. Robbie Anderson, Devontae Parker, Josh Palmer, George Pickens, Rondell Moore, DJ Chark, Van Jefferson. I mean, in terms of late round receivers, those guys hold some good value. KJ Osborne as well. And when we look at running back, it's pretty damn thin, so we'll just kind of see who comes out at the end of this draft. QBs are kind of moving into that sophomore tier outside of our boy Trey Lance. And I think Justin Fields got selected, but Zach Wilson, Mac and Cheese are both hanging around. Davis Mills as well. I mean, I think all those guys are fine QB2s behind someone you're confident in. But I don't see any reason to draft a QB2 owning Matthew Stafford. We just wait till the bye week and stream whomever. Outside of that, Matt Ryan's kind of an interesting selection. Ryan Tannehill, Carson Wentz, they all hold some pretty decent value. We are on the clock. For me, it would be between Darrell Henderson and Kendrick Bourne here. But looking at this roster, we need more help at receiver. So we're not going to hurt our roster staying tried and true to that bounce back method of running back receiver. We have strayed away a little bit from the method throughout the night, and we're going to go ahead and select Kendrick Bourne. Through ESPN, it won't let us, void a kicker or defense. So we're going to go ahead and take either a kicker or defense here. I think it makes more sense to get some consistency or value at kicker. And then, worst case scenario, stream a defense. And we will have the second to last pick in this draft. So for me, it's between Money Mac and Mac A. Nick Folk's a great option. Daniel Carlson's a great option. Those guys are all top 5 kickers. Let's go Money Mac for the sake of this mock draft. And we'll just sit back and see what happens at defense. These final rounds should move pretty quickly overall. So another great mock draft almost in the books here. Once again, man, listen, I love this strategy. Tomorrow's video that's dropping is a 10-man mock draft with this strategy of bouncing between the running back and receiver position, keeping track of tight ends, drafting a tight end when you feel the time is right, that the correct tight end for your roster is falling to you, and then getting a late round QB on top of that, unless a QB of just absolute value falls to you at the right time. But listen, we kind of strayed away from the strategy throughout tonight's mock draft, but with any strategy, don't let the strategy you have in mind keep you from certain players or keep you from ruining your roster at the end of the day. And I think that we pivoted in very good fashion during this roster. One example, getting James Conner over a receiver, cannot pass up James Conner. He's too high on my personal list. Then going out and getting a second tight end in Hunter Henry as well, and then going triple receiver to end this draft, which is where we really needed some help. All right, looking at defense available, we're still going to land the Patriots defense. I'll take them all day long. I got no beef with that whatsoever. All right, here's the final roster. Let me get a sip of water here. So like I said, came in this with the mindset of bouncing between running back and receiver. We've been doing this all week long. It's been working really well. Keeping track of a tight end tier, maybe 2 tight end tiers, drafting a tight end when we want to and letting the late round QB fall to us. Okay, I've said it enough times. You guys get the gist. We pivoted tonight, and I still think we ended up with a really good roster. So, running back room, we've got Austin Eckler, James Conner, Elijah Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, and Melvin Gordon. I would be very happy with those 5 running backs in a 12-man league, hands down. Would look to start Eckler and Conner and then flex Dillon, Mitchell, and possibly Gordon as well, especially if, God forbid, Javonte Williams misses any time. I do think that Gordon's going to get less touches than last season, but I still think he's going to be relevant in that roster. A.J. Dillon might be my favorite RB4 possible right now. I got no beef with him being an RB4 that you could flex, even over Mitchell in some weeks as well. I know there's some concerns about Mitchell for some of you guys, and I understand that, but I think he holds really good value as an RB3 or 4. All right, receivers, probably the weakest part of this roster. We didn't really have a ton of like upside or extreme value fall to us at receiver, but I do think that we got some good consistency between Keenan Allen as our wide receiver 1 and Hunter Renfrow really as a wide receiver 2 in my eyes. And Hollywood Brown is probably the receiver offering the upside out of the 3 main starters on this team. And obviously in those first 6 weeks of the season, Hollywood Brown's going to offer a little bit more value with Hopkins being out. So I'm not upset with these 3 guys being the bulk of my receiving room. On top of that, in some later rounds, we took a flyer on Jarvis Landry, who I think is in a really good situation to do what he's best at coming out of the slot and kind of help that receiving room overall with Michael Thomas being out for so long, adding some leadership capabilities there with Chris Olave as well. Then don't get it twisted, man. Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway can play the receiver position as well. So it is kind of a crowded receiver room, but I like Landry in full PPR options, especially 12-man plus. And I think we got him at a really good value. So I'm happy with him there. Tim Patrick, I absolutely love. Probably my favorite wide receiver 3 next to Tyler Boyd to target in late rounds. And if Jerry Jeudy ends up missing any time, even if it's just 1 or 2 games, he's going to have some really good value at the beginning of the season. I just love Tim Patrick. I think he's absolutely underrated. Had him on most of my rosters last season, although he was better at the beginning part of the season. He still finished out the year with some pretty good stats overall. That I love me some Kendrick Bourne. Think he's a great late round value. Him and Mac and Jones have a phenomenal chemistry. I think we're going to see that shine in the preseason. I think Kendrick Bourne's going to move up on a lot of draft boards as the 2022 fantasy football season starts to approach. So I love that value there, and I actually ended up liking this receiver room quite a bit. Kendrick Bourne, Tim Patrick, Jarvis Landry, Hollywood Brown, Keenan Allen, and Hunter Renfrow. Matthew Stafford infections our QB. Kind of takes away the headache. We got 1 QB. We're starting him. We'll find someone to start on his bye week. And I'd be fine with Matthew Stafford, a top 10 QB last season. Dawson Knox and Hunter Henry are tight ends. Love that combination. Hunter Henry, 9 touchdowns last season. Dawson Knox, 9 touchdowns. So Hunter Henry, maybe it was 8, but Dawson Knox, 9. So those are great numbers. And obviously they get a lot of value when they do score, but I'd be fine with both those tight ends on my roster. Money Max, our kicker. Patriots defense, our defense. Both top 5 at their respective positions last season. I thought that this team turned out great. I am feeling really, really good about this strategy, whether it's a 10-man or a 12-man. I am feeling pretty in control from this past week's mock drafts that we've been conducting here. And once again, really, really like how this team turned out. And I thought we got some good late round value and some really good players at the beginning of this draft. All right, let's check out Derek's team as well. Derek says you got a great team. Check out my team when you're done. 100%, bro. Let's see. I really like your starting running backs. Good receiver with having Allen. Good tight end QB as well. Yeah, I thought that team just turned out good from head to toe. Ron, I've been using Henry as my tight end 2 for like 3 years now. Yeah, he's kind of the perfect tight end 2, whether he's with the Chargers or the Patriots, and kind of just consistently slept on for whatever reason. All right, let me get another sip of water, and we'll break down Derek's team. All right, QB1, only 1 QB, which is 1,000% okay. Joe Burrow, you're going to be completely fine there. I think he's going to have a fantastic season, man, especially with that revamped offensive line. Take a look at the running back room. ETN, Walker. Ooh, running back room is a little bit interesting here. Algier, Cook, Pierce, and James White. I like the value of James White there, but you got a lot of rookie running backs. Obviously, you're looking for one of those guys to hit, and don't get me wrong, more than one of those guys could hit. I like Algier a lot. Was eyeing him in this draft. You got really good value there. Cook, and Pierce both have opportunities to become an RB1 as well, and so does Walker. So ETN, I think that the Jags could end up with a committee approach with Robinson. So at the end of the day, running back's a little bit of a question mark, and I think you would agree with that. But if two of those guys hit, then you're fine, right? Because you have some nice upside at the receiver position. You got Adams, Diggs, and Pittman, so that's a beautiful, beautiful, first three receivers for this team in terms of wide receiver ones. Add some nice upside in Treylon Burks, and you got a really good value in Tyler Boyd there as well. Then DPJ, someone who a lot of fantasy managers in the offseason have some faith in if the Browns offense does turn into a little bit more high-powered if and when Deshaun Watson plays this season. So good value at receiver throughout the draft, and receiver's definitely the strong point of this team. Got a solid QB1, and I'm completely 1,000% okay with Dallas Goedert as a tight end 1. Chargers defense offers some nice upside. Justin Tucker, obviously an absolute animal at the kicker position. So this is a good team, but I think you would agree that running back's the weakest part of this team. But like I said, as long as two to three of those guys hit, this roster could absolutely work out, and it is a good roster overall. And another great draft by you, Derek. And appreciate you drafting with me tonight, man. So I thought we finished out this draft in pretty good fashion. I really like the team. Really like the strategy, even though we pivoted. It felt good to pivot a little and still come out with a team that I thought was really, really good overall. So another great mock draft in the books. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys drafting with me. Hit that like button on the way out if you guys did not do so already. Of course, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join the Catch fam. And we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It really, really does help when you guys hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Discord links in the description down below. Completely free to join. Best way to get updates, community updates, and when we are conducting our subscriber mock drafts, which are always an absolute blast and always a little bit more accurate towards the end of the draft as well. Like I said, guys, no live stream tomorrow. I will be traveling with the family, and I will have an upload up for you guys tomorrow of a mock draft that I ran through before hopping on here tonight. Going through that same bounce back strategy of going running back, receiver. It's a 10-man mock draft, so I'll have that uploaded so you guys have some content tomorrow. Then I'll keep you guys posted on Discord on what I'm going to do for Monday and Tuesday. But like I said, June's going to get a little crazy. June is when I mark it on the calendar. It's officially fantasy time, and things are just going to get revved up and speed up after that. So trying to take a little bit of a mental break, a little bit of a breather before we hit June. And just as a sneak peek, I'm planning on conducting a subscriber mock draft every day the first week of June. So that's going to be a little bit crazy. We're going to hop on here. We're going to have an open draft with a link every night for you guys to hop in. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for the fantasy football season. I'm excited for what the summer is going to bring. So, yeah. Like I said, it's probably a good time for me to take a little bit of a breather just before we kick things off pretty heavy in June. But I'll have some sort of content up for you guys every single day. Derek says, great draft. Until next time, enjoy your family time. I appreciate, bro, and I always appreciate you drafting with me and your support towards the channel as well. And Ronald says, no live stream tomorrow. I quit forever. We will miss you, Ronald. We love you, bro. And yeah, love you guys. Love the Catch fam. Love this community. Love this channel. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Join the Discord. Double your first deposit up to $100 with promo code TheCatch on Underdog Fantasy Football. Link in the description down below as well. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I will talk to you guys later this week. Hit me up on Discord if you guys need anything, and look out for tomorrow's upload as well. With that, I say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And peace.